since we are doing Bhoomi this season, to have Sunidhi Chauhan and Shreya Ghoshal in the studio
Good one.
doing what they do best was just magical. I haven't experienced anything like it in my life.
Raj, it's almost become a tradition that we have to have a Kashmiri song in Bhoomi. It started off with Nazneen.
Yeah.
और बहुत ही मतलब you know काफी सारे गाने सुने and then we selected के नहीं यार. And I remember that whole process where your mom was at the studio. Nirja ji came और हमने सब गाने सुने. Nazneen, we locked Nazneen. Next year was another story because Mithun was doing a song in Bhoomi 23.
Yeah.
And and Meri Jaan karke usne gana kiya tha, and we wanted Rashid Hafiz Saab to come in, and then he brought in one of his old kalams. And this year again it became a process of doing another Kashmiri song. How do you feel each time we think of a new Kashmiri song in Bhoomi? Don't you think of course you are a Kashmiri, so you feel good about it, but you're also a part of Salim Sulaiman, so did you ever feel कि नहीं सर इस साल थोड़ा रुक जाते हैं, next year करते हैं?
नहीं, not really, because the process while selecting or deciding what we are doing this year, or every year, every season, it's very organic. We don't हम ज़्यादा calculate नहीं करते हैं, ज़्यादा कुछ इतना सोचते नहीं है, बस गाने बनाओ and then we figure how to curate the album. So every time Kashmiri गाने का जिक्र होता है, Kashmiri, whether it's folk or it's combined with a Hindi song or whatever, it gives me immense happiness.
Sure. I mean, last year, of course, we didn't do a out-and-out Kashmiri folk song or a kalam or something like that. We didn't because वो हिंदी के साथ में जुड़ा हुआ.
Of course.
But of course, it had its own traditional elements. This year, मैंने मन तो बना ही लिया था कि करेंगे because गुलजार साहब से मुलाकात हो गई थी. And then, and in fact, he came from one of your family functions only.
Correct. Yeah.
And I said, he is a deserving artist.
Absolutely.
That needs to be collaborated with. And, and of course, लोग जानते ही है ये कि कश्मीर से मेरा बहुत ही close connection है.
Of course.
जब से मैं वहाँ गया हूँ, तब से एक sense of belonging हो गई है. And then there's वहाँ के लोगों से, वहाँ के रीत और रिवाज से, खाने पीने से, and of course, नेचर एंड ऑल दैट. तो कश्मीर है ही खूबसूरत, बहुत ब्यूटीफुल है. कहते हैं कि जन्नती है जमीन पर, अगर जन्नत का एहसास लेना है तो यू हैव टू गो टू कश्मीर. इट्स हेवन ऑन अर्थ. बट इट्स व्हाट मेक्स इट आल्सो हेवनली, इट्स म्यूजिक, इट्स कल्चर, इट्स ट्रेडिशन, इट्स द पीपल. दैट इज समथिंग. डू यू फील लाइक लिविंग इन मुंबई? हाउ मच डू यू मिस दैट?
A lot actually, because since I've been born and raised in Bombay, वो जो upbringing है वो, thanks to my family and my parents and my grandparents, they've always made sure that both me and my sister are connected to Kashmir, and
especially the language.
The language, yes, and language सीखने का जरिया भी music था for us.
Absolutely.
And thanks to mom, वो जब कश्मीरी गाने हम सीखते थे, तो उस वजह से बोलने में भी आसानी होती थी. We would understand the meaning of words through songs. It would become a lot easier. So each time there is a representation of Kashmiri music in whichever way, it can be a Hindi song and just a small part of Kashmiri, the Kashmiri folk. That itself is a big thing, and I feel like जितना हो उतना कम है. So each year we do it.
Also the new generation, it's a great thing that हम ये करते बार हर साल हम करते हैं इसको. तो जो new generation है of Kashmiris, they have somehow अपनी जुबान से, अपनी धरती से, अपने कल्चर से एक कनेक्शन बन जाता है उनका. कुछ लोग शायद अपनी जुबान भूल जाते हैं और वो होता है, लेकिन म्यूजिक का पावर इतना अच्छा है कि वो गाने से अपनी जुबान के साथ में कनेक्शन हो जाता है. एंड दैट इज समथिंग आई फील लाइक ना केवल ऑफ कोर्स इन कश्मीरीज बट in every culture and tradition, especially people living in America and Canada and UK and all that. बहुत लोग हिंदी नहीं बोल सकते, हिंदी उर्दू नहीं बोल सकते, लेकिन गाने
म्यूजिक
कमाल के गा लेते हैं. वर्ड सब उनके अल्फाज तलफ्फुज सब सही रहते हैं. तो दिस इज म्यूजिक इज सच अ स्ट्रॉन्ग जरिया to have your...
Even when we go on tour to US, Canada, all these countries where people miss living in India, पर वहाँ पे भी जो the kids who are growing up in especially in the Kashmiri community, I get so many messages and people who meet us while we are on tour saying that our 2-year-old or our 3-year-old kid who doesn't speak even Hindi at that age पर वो कश्मीरी गाना नाज़नीन they know the song, they're
Yeah.
singing along with it.
Yeah.
So that I think is a much bigger, that impact is very
Absolutely.
very unique that
जब
we've
नाज़नीन
created.
की जब वो आती है क्या कहते हैं रिक्वेस्ट आती है
बिल्कुल
हाँ
each time.
फरमाइश तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है
Absolutely.
फीलिंग बहुत अच्छी लगती है
Absolutely.
और मैंने देखा है कि नाज़नीन की फरमाइश ना केवल सिर्फ कश्मीरी से आती है बट जनरली लोग पसंद
बिल्कुल,
करते हैं उसको
बिल्कुल,
गाने को हालांकि उसके लव्स लोगों को समझ नहीं आते बिकॉज नॉन कश्मीरी पीपल विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड दैट बट द म्यूजिक एंड द ट्यून इज सो हॉन्टिंग एंड सो पावरफुल
and the entire the way the song was presented in Bhoomi, in the way it was platformed, it's very universal and very global.
Truly. And speaking of Jaanaan also has a very haunting melody. बहुत ही एक strong उसकी पकड़ है. बहुत सारे जितने भी पुराने कलाम हैं कश्मीर के उनकी सबकी धुनें जो बनी हुई है वो बहुत ही मतलब it has एक सादगी simplicity है. But again this year I said कि यार ठीक है ये कलाम तो मतलब है ही कमाल का बट इसमें थोड़ी गुस्ताखी करना जरूरी है
of course of course as always
and मेरे दिमाग में दिलबरो था and then your mom and you thought of Rebaro. How do you feel about that with these words and Shivansh wrote it also so beautifully.
Absolutely, just to bring in that the spirit of the song because it's both romantic as well as a little mystic and Sufi.
That's right.
Lyrically. So to bring that that romance as well as devotion sort of a feeling into the Hindi lyrics as well, to be able to translate it poetically is always a challenge. And the fact that that word Rebaro was such a nice fit into the melody, and that part is my favorite part of the song, and this just comes in as a breath of fresh air.
But at the same time अखरता नहीं, I think बहुत अच्छे से जेल हो जाता है जानान में.
बिल्कुल.
और that's the and वही मेरा मतलब एक प्रयास रहता है, एक effort रहता है कि how to make folk music, traditional music seem easy and contemporary for this generation, so that is a big purpose of Bhoomi.
While keeping the sanctity intact.
Keeping the tradition intact.
It's very challenging.
And not making it so eclectic also that लोग कहें कि यार ये क्या कर दिया.
बिल्कुल.
But at the same time keeping it cool so that the Gen Z can connect with it and
Absolutely.
stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And speaking of Gen Z, I hate this rapid fire word, but let's just do it. Huh?
Why not?
All right.
Going with the times.
Let's see what happens. This is a difficult one. Singing or producing?
Singing.
Yeah. वेदों में कहते हैं ना
गायक
वादक
and so on.
Okay. Top 3 favorite songs from Bhoomi. Fast.
Haq Ali, Nazneen, and Dubja.
I was thinking Ghar Auna, but good one. Dubja is a good one. Both have Sunidhi.
There you go. I was thinking of her actually. The first song that popped was Dubja.
Your go-to pre-show ritual. Show ke pehle ritual.
Black coffee.
Oh, wow. Perfect. A dream venue to perform.
Dream venue to perform. I don't know, Wembley maybe?
Kya baat. Okay. One studio recording that will always be in your memory, which you'll always cherish.
There's so many.
Ek.
It's tough. It's tough to pick. It's been 13 years, and there's so many moments like that where we've had artists who've come in and just done their magic. But it's so tough to pick. There's so many. I can't think of any. But okay, let's. Since we're doing Bhoomi this season, to have Sunidhi Chauhan and Shreya Ghoshal in the studio,
good one,
doing what they do best was just magical. I haven't experienced anything like it in my life.
Truly, it was a very, very special moment in this season. But speaking of that, I think Jaanaan has also turned out to be so special. हमने इसको बहुत अलग-अलग तरीके से हम कर सकते थे इस गाने को. हमारा फर्स्ट अप्रोच बड़ा सूफी और काम और सिंपल था, जो अच्छा ही था. पर ये जो स्टाइल अपनाया, आई थिंक इस स्टाइल में एक कामनेस भी है और इसमें एक हैप्पीनेस, एक खुशी का भी एक माहौल है और एक टेम्पो भी, एक रिदम भी है. लोग उस पे मतलब ग्रूव सुन के थोड़ा डांस करते हैं एंड आई थिंक दैट्स क्योंकि धुन में एनीवे एक कामनेस है और एक ठहराव है तो उसके रिदम से थोड़ा सा चलत बढ़ती है जो वैसे कि है तो ये गाना बड़ा इश्क मिजाजी गाना है इट हैज लाइक सेइंग इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट अ लव इट कैन बी ऑफ कोर्स जैसे बहुत सारे कश्मीरी गानों में रहता है ये but if you had to redo this song ये तो हमने अपना दिया which is the best form for now but what would have been another way which जो आएगा एक हम इसका एक वर्जन करेंगे
of course
ये जानान का एक वर्जन करेंगे हम
I think just an acoustic guitar with voices and some more backing vocals more than what you've already done maybe that would be very interesting. We already have that guitar sound in this version as well, but the
without
swing
a groove.
Without any drums or without any bass or without any beat, that swing of just the acoustic guitar, that very Latin Afro zone which we've gone into with this one as well, but just a stripped down version with more backing vocals and more voices and guitar would be interesting, I think.
Guys, you got to check out Jaanaan. This season has got such great music. भूमि में हम लोग टाइमलेस गाने बनाते ही रहते हैं और मैंने देखा है कि जितनी भी डिवोशनल फोक गाने हम करते हैं दे ऑल हैव अ टाइमलेस क्वालिटी एंड स्पीकिंग ऑफ टाइमलेस देयर इज अनदर थिंग दैट इज ऑलवेज टाइम्स दे कहते हैं ना डायमंड्स आर फॉरएवर सो डायमंड्स आर ट्रूली अ वेरी टाइमलेस थिंग फेस्टिव सीजन इज कमिंग देयर इज अ obvious thing for humans to go buy some jewelry some diamonds for yourself, for your family. I would request you, if you are ever doing that, make sure that it's authenticated and approved by IGI because then you're buying real diamonds.
The real stuff.
इस भूमि के ट्रेडिशन में पिछले 3 साल से एक बहुत ही कमाल का ट्रेडिशन रहा है of a beautiful partnership with a company called Moha that always gives us great stuff, great products. They have so many amazing things. That I use something called Kofol. I use this a lot of times, when throat is feeling a little थोड़ा सा weird. But जब अगर आपकी तबीयत अच्छी हो तभी also it is really good flavor and it really helps your vocal health. So there is a Ayurvedic digestive care and some amazing products here.
All natural.
For you, Raj. Thank you, Moha. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you, sir.
Let's take a photo.